Hello, YouTube divers. This is Water Eye 122, and I want to welcome you all to another episode of Coda of Soda. So today we are going to be heading back to the Mexican soda industry-ish. We're going to be talking about some more Mexican sodas. This is basically part 1 of episode 8. There will be 2 parts of episode 8, and then 3 parts for episode 9, and then the big soda ranking will happen of all the sodas we have reviewed thus far. And of course, we'll do another big soda ranking in episode 20 where we combine the second batch of sodas that I reviewed with the first batch of sodas that I reviewed, and so on and so forth. I will keep doing this series as long as I possibly can. So, and that also includes bringing back some old faces, which we are going to be doing in this little sequence thing, whatever the frick you want to call it. So, and I say this because in this part alone, we have one soda that is making its return from the previous Mexican soda episode. And that is the one, the only Mexican Pepsi. This soda is still freaking amazing. This soda is just so good. And it's a big reason why Pepsi is still my favorite soda. Because at this point, you not only get amazing Pepsi sodas in the American market with like the real sugar Pepsi and the high fructose corn syrup Pepsi, but then this thing comes along and it just adds it on and on. And of course, throughout the course of this series, I will continue to review a lot more of these Pepsi sodas because, as I said, Pepsi is my favorite soda, and I like tasting different types of variations with it. I even heard that they were making a Pepsi Zero. They were making a Pepsi Zero or something like that. I would definitely be interested in trying that out. And according to here, this version of Mexican Pepsi, or this version of Mexican Pepsi here on this label right there, I don't know if you can see it, actually says that this one of the ingredients here is caramel color, which is really something that I've never even seen in another soda before. Like, of all the sodas that we've talked about on this series, Mexican Pepsi is literally the only soda that has caramel color in it, at least from what I've seen, but neither here nor there. And then this next soda is very, very special to me, and for some reason, this is the first video where we actually talk about this soda, and it is Mexican Coke. To this day, I still can't believe that I did not talk about this in the previous Mexican sodas video, because this soda, dare I say, is not just one of my all-time favorite Mexican sodas, but one of my all-time favorite sodas, period. And you could basically say that about Mexican Pepsi as well. But this soda, this was the first Mexican soda I was exposed to. For the longest time, this was my favorite Mexican soda. I mean, the sweetness is on a whole nother level. And a big reason why I actually prefer Mexican Coke over regular Coke is because it has more flavor, whereas with American Coke, in my opinion, it puts more emphasis on the fizziness instead of the flavor, but, neither here nor there. American Coke's great, too. What more do you want me to say? And, of course, this is just one of the... And, of course, on the label here, there's many different labels, many different bottles. The ones I was exposed to for Mexican Coke were usually, like, about this much higher. And then, of course, you have other Mexican... Like, you have Mexican Coke Zeros, where they have black labels and stuff. And then, of course, you have this one here. And this one is a Saber Original, which my headcanon is that it was probably developed around the time where American Coke was a thing, like a big thing back in the day. But honestly, getting back to the review, this soda, one of my all-time favorites. One of my all-time favorites. And you could basically say this for this one as well. Now, this is going to be very hard for me to rank because these two sodas are among my all-time favorites. This soda, I love it because the sweetness is there. It's basically Pepsi, but with even more fizziness. And with this one, it's Coke, but with more sweetness. It's basically like these two sodas have what, in my opinion, the American counterparts of these sodas are lacking. And even though I love Pepsi, the American version of Pepsi does not have a lot of fizziness. It has fizziness, but not a lot. And Coke, and I said this earlier in the video, with American Coke, the flavor was not there, in my opinion. Just the punch of fizziness. But this one has it both. It has amazing fizziness, and it has flavor. And this one has flavor and sweetness, which makes basically these two sodas almost equal. And honestly, I would give this a tie. Like, I love these sodas pretty much equally. But if I had a freaking choice, and this is going to kill me with whatever pick I go with, because I love both of these sodas. But if I had to choose, it would probably have to go with Mexican Coke. And the reason why I choose Mexican Coke as of right now, because this could be interchangeable. As I said, Mexican Coke has basically has a special place in my heart because it was one of the first Mexican sodas, if not the first Mexican soda I was ever exposed to. And every time I go to a Mexican restaurant, I always order this. Like if on a holiday, like on New Year's or Christmas or heck, even freaking Thanksgiving, I get one of these. Mexican Pepsi is a lot harder to find. Like you don't see them very often in Mexican restaurants. You mainly see these in Mexican supermarkets like Jalisco's, which is where I bought the sodas that you're going to see in these next couple of videos. And all the sodas that I bought in the previous Mexican soda video came from Jalisco's as well. So Jalisco was a big part of making this Mexican soda series of mine. But again, these videos are just made for entertainment purposes only, nothing promotional coming from here. But anyways, these two sodas are amazing, but as of right now, I'm going to have to give the slightest edge to Mexican Coke. Simply because it's been in my life longer, and kind of like how I prefer Pepsi with Coke in the American market, I've just been drinking it a lot more, and it's easier to find. In my opinion, they do need to make more Mexican Pepsis, because these things are just awesome. However, it would starkly go into competition with Mexican Coke, in my opinion. So I'm cool with Mexican Coke being the only Mexican soft drink from the American market being here, or an American drink refabricated from the Mexican soda industry, or whatever the heck you want to call it. But either way, I love these two sodas equally, but because of personal feelings, I like this one just a tad bit more. But who knows? When these two sodas go up in my big soda rankings that I'm going to do for episode 10, then these two places could switch. Who knows? Who freaking knows? And of course, this would not be a Coda of Soda episode-ish without a freaking taste test. So let's go ahead and try out the second best that we have out of these two as of right now. Mexican Pepsi. Cheers. Oh my god. That is just so freaking amazing. And lastly, Mexican Coke. One thing I actually noticed from that, these two sodas actually tasted a little bit like their counterparts, except this one was a little bit more sweeter than American Pepsi, and this one was a little bit more fizzier than American Coke. So basically, these have stark similarities and not really noticeable differences, but neither here nor there. I love both these sodas. Okay, so with that said, that concludes this edition of Coda of Soda. So thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterDive122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching.